Guys, first of all, the end of an era, end of 11 years, it's been quite a journey, this, hasn't it?
Yeah, a long journey actually. It was, I'd say about 11 years ago, we were on holiday in Crete, Corfu, something like that. We'd already been to 2 auditions with the film, and they'd called us up and said we needed to go for a screen test, which is where you first actually filmed on a set, see how you react with the cameras and everything. So that was quite an interesting experience when it came around.
I mean, what were you, 14, I think, when you sort of got that call. So, as 14-year-olds, you know, at school in Sutton Coldfield, as you were, obviously huge excitement, but you must remember what happened. Do you remember where you were when that came in, what the feeling was at that point?
Yeah, I was actually going to organise a game of golf with my friend, and the phone was busy, and it was the casting director telling my mum who answered the phone that Oliver and I had been selected to play Fred and George, and it was a weird feeling because it was kind of like a...
It had gone so quickly, I think, over the space of about 6-7 weeks. It was
literally the school holidays, so like the guys who are at school are now in. It was kind of that period of 6 weeks we went away, and then when we came back, we told our closest friends that were going to be in Harry Potter, and of course they didn't believe it. We only told a select few, the guys we walked to school with, and we told them, and they didn't believe us. And then a week later, we turned up with ginger hair, and then they said, "Okay, maybe you're onto something." And then we started filming the second week of September in Goathland in North Yorkshire, and that was it. Yeah.
I mean, the whole point that the two of you, obviously, you know, normal guys, normal school in Sutton Coldfield, you know. Some of the others obviously have gone through different things, but to be that, to have that normal life, to have everything so normal as so many kids are, it's that dream, isn't it?
Yeah, it was very much a total step in a totally opposite direction, I think, from anything we thought of. To the fact that at school we were just going into year 10 throughout the other side of that holiday, and we'd picked our GCSEs, and neither of us picked drama. It was not even on our radar at the time, so it was quite a unique thing to go to this whole new environment. I mean, we're not from a acting background, don't know anyone who ever has been. I think there's no one really who I've ever come across who are from that type of thing. So to go to the first read-through, and we're in the same room as all these fantastic actors who we've seen growing up on the TV, and that it's quite a daunting experience.
Looking back at that first film, I mean, seeing yourselves in that first film, do you ever get to see it? Do you ever dare to watch it?
It's always on
Christmas,
isn't it?
Yeah. You get the text from your mate saying how high was your voice first of all, and what's going on with that hair. So it's kind of like a home video which everyone in the world can see, but it's cool. It's cool to document. Like, you can document parts of your life. I know that the 4th movie was on a couple of days ago on one of the channels, and that still gets a really good reaction. Like, we get messages on Twitter all the time about it, and you know, I think we're just very fortunate to, like I said, that you can see throughout your adolescence, like of your growing up, of like the different haircuts and how tall you get and all that kind of thing.
I mean, everyone knew what Harry Potter was and how big it was at the time. You know, you knew you were going into something. But as 14-year-olds, did you have any idea what you sort of let yourselves in?
No, I think we always assumed that it would be like all movies are, it's a very special thing to be part of being in a film. And then I think it was when we finished the second film, there was whispers of making more. We always knew they were going to make 2, and there was always whispers that maybe there would be 3 or 4, but to do 8. And on the 8th premiere, which was last month, to bring the whole of London to a standstill, because they reckon in and around Trafalgar Square leading to Leicester Square, they reckon there was around 21,000 people there, which, to be right in the middle of it, was an experience where, back 11 years ago would have, I mean, it scared me a little bit then, but that would have terrified me.
This time round, obviously, the final film, you guys probably, 24 when you were filming it, 23, 24 when you were filming this sort of thing. So, I mean, it is kind of that jump, isn't it, to still play those characters as, 10 years on, obviously. Is that a challenge in itself?
A little bit, because you kind of you're growing up with the character, and so you're kind of developing the character as you are developing your own, like so it's about the age when you come to realise who you are, and you have to realise who your character is as well. But what's quite fortunate is that we've been able to play the same characters but in different emotions, and like especially in the last two films we're able to play characters which are normally the ones who are the jokers and the pranksters. We're able to play them with a different emotional side, which is quite a cool thing, which I don't think a lot of actors in movies get the chance to do.
I mean, without giving anything away, it's fairly dramatic, sort of, especially for the twins, isn't it? I mean, the final film, it's something that you can really get your teeth into, I guess.
Yeah, it was nice, but I mean, both part 1 and part 2 of the Deathly Hallows, there was some cool stuff for our characters to be involved in. And it hit a lot of the fan base by surprise, what happens to them, because you see them as these very chirpy, cocky lads. And it kind of shows you can't really take your guard off too much. But it was great being able to play that type of role, as you said, wasn't it?
It's also obviously opened up all sorts of opportunities. I mean, you must have travelled the world with the film and everything. I mean, what are the sort of highlights for you guys? Are there over the last sort of 10, 11 years?
I mean, even on this latest promotional tour, we went all over the shop. We were even able to have a kickabout on the pitch at the Bernabeu, which was, I don't think that's an average thing what goes on there. So stuff like that, it really does have some perks to the job.
I think there's like not just the filming side of it is. I mean, that's always a lot of fun, and you're working with people like Julie Walters, Mark Williams, Alan Rickman, Maggie Smith, Michael Gambon. So the who's who of British acting, which is quite a great learning experience for us anyway. But then the premieres are the parts which I'll remember the most, because that's when you actually see the fan base come. Like the premiere in London this year, it broke a lot of records. We're able to do a premiere in Paris, which was the biggest screening ever. It was like 8,000 people.
It was kind of like going to the NIA in Birmingham and setting up a projector and just playing it sold out. And then to go out and address them.
Yeah, then they gave us a microphone and said, "Go on, say something in French." that was an experience. And then we ended our tour in Hong Kong, in Times Square, and they predicted about 500 people were going to show up to that, and just over 2,000 did, just for Oliver and I. So that was experiences like that we won't forget, and we're very fortunate to have experienced them.
Has it been difficult to cope with the fan base, the adulation, because that's what the film's had, and whether you be, whichever character, but probably the young characters are the ones that people sort of, certainly the youngsters relate to, don't they? That's who they sort of bond with. So guys like you, I mean, the fan mail, the fan base must have been crazy. Yeah,
it's nice. It's different, I suppose, to be in that situation. But I mean, my granddad certainly used to when he was around, and my nan took over, and she helps us out a lot with the fan mail that comes through. She's got a very strict order on how it's all answered and everything. If there's no postage stamp, it's not getting answered, that type of thing. But so it's nice on that front. But we do realise that we do play characters which are very popular to people, and that people, I suppose, do look up to us. So, we're not one for go out and start trouble and all that, because it's not needed. But I mean, I think that's a good thing about playing good guys, is that when we're out, people are quite open to come and chat to us, which is always a nice thing.
I mean, I'm sure they said to you, look, you're now going to get this sort of stuff. I mean, did you get all sorts of weird and wonderful fan mail? Is that what you get, as well as the... I
think the weirdest one was recently, wasn't it? You got James got a massive box.
Yeah, I got a huge package, and I was like, oh, like you get sent gifts and presents, and so this would be good. I opened it up, and there was a watermelon inside, which just said, "Please sign and send back." So,
but unfortunately, it didn't pass the test. Nan tested it.
Well, it's a watermelon. So that was just a photograph which was sent back. But yeah, unusual things like that are fun experiences.
I guess these people are devotees, though, aren't they? Harry Potter has been so much part of their lives as it has yours. For you guys, it must be leaving this big gap, because you've come to the end of the promotional thing. That's pretty much it. There is this big hole, I suppose, that has been the last 11 years.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a big hole. I just say it's a moment in our lives which we won't forget, and it's kind of like when people go to university, but like an 11-year university, but like you have that time. We always knew it was going to come to an end, so it's not like it was a TV show which has now been cancelled. Like it's finished, and it's finished on its peak. So we're very fortunate to have, we've got representation and everything obviously here in the UK, and we've also got guys in America as well, which we're looking at exploring. There's really exciting 2 projects actually hopefully coming up at the end of the year, so that may be on the go over there.
I was going to say what now, because I guess in movies it's not as difficult as in TV. TV you'd be very much typecast. In movies you've played the role. It doesn't seem to be so much that you are typecast as, you know, Fred and George. It's kind of the way that it works in there.
Yeah.
Opportunities, I guess, because of it will now come. I guess you both want to stay there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, being part of the most successful film saga in history is something what's definitely whet my appetite to stay in with film. And I think that we do look different than when we play the characters. I mean, I've got 2 ears and not red hair for one, which is a nice thing. So to be able to differentiate, to make ourselves different from when we're filming is nice, to be going for new parts and everything. So it's definitely, as James said, later in the year there's these 2 other things which look really nice out in California.
Do people get disappointed? They meet you and you haven't got the red
hair.
You know,
a couple do. Yeah, we there was this one lad we met actually this weekend, and he came over and he had like flaming red hair. And he said, "I'm so disappointed. You were my heroes growing up, and it's all fake." And I was like, "Yeah, but we're honorary redheads now." And he was like, "Okay, yeah, that works. Okay."
What about a home life? I mean, just in the Midlands, because you're still both based here. This is your home. It always has been, hasn't it?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Was that kind of always the intention as you sort of got out your teens and into your 20s, that actually you can still be based here and have that career wherever?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you get the train now, it takes an hour and 14 minutes from Burnley Street to, or it's international to London, and it's not that hard at all. Obviously with the road links and everything as well, and home is home. All my friends are here. We like where we live. You know, it's a nice atmosphere, and it's just one of those things I think where we're very much happy here, and I think as long as you're happy where you live, then you're happy in what you work in. So that's very much the thing we've always thought of. Even like earlier in the year, we were out in the States for 2 months, and it was nice. Although it was really nice weather over there and quite miserable over here, when we came home, we thought, I'm glad to be home for a little while.
Well, we're still getting up at 5 in the morning or something to watch the football, and you know, we still go down. Or still going down the Villa for his sins, and I go down to Birmingham, and we both go down to Gloucester to watch the rugby. So yeah, the Midlands is always our home.
I guess the cast as well, growing up, as it has been, you grow up as a family, don't you? The young characters, you know, all grow up as a family. I imagine you stay in touch between movies, but that, I suppose, is something that you've built up. You've got really good friends there that you're now going to have for life. It's very famous friends, but friends you're going to have for life.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, as James said, it's kind of like when you're at university or at secondary school, you build up those relationships and those bonds, and like a few of the guys are out in America at the moment, a few are abroad as well doing other stuff like on travelling or something, so it's very easy to keep in touch and drop a line, and we'll go out for a meal every now and then, or you know, go for a night out somewhere. So it's really nice, but it is quite interesting when you see people looking, going, is that, they must be filming if they're all together, as opposed to, you know, we're just hanging out and catching up.
I mean, I don't know, some people hate watching themselves on screen. Some people don't like seeing films. Is that the same with you? Do you enjoy it? Or, as you say, you sort of look back and it's charted your life. But do you ever sort of, is it cringeworthy at all?
It used to be. I used to hate it, but now I quite like doing it, because I think I've matured to the point where I'm very proud to be in these things. And if you're ashamed of what you do, then it's kind of silly being part of it, I think. But yeah, I like when the 4th film was on the other day. I've got to admit, I did watch it for a little while we were sporting the really long hair.
I have to watch a film twice though if I'm in it, because the first time you watch it, you'll always just be critical of everything you do, and you won't watch it as a film. And then the second time you watch it as a film, and it's really cool to have say that you were part of that, and to have have people from all over the world send us messages and just say how much they enjoyed it.
I mean, not tempted to sneak into a cinema at some point and watch the reaction, because this is places like this and the cinemas are the true reaction, not the
not the invitees.
We
no,
did.
it's, well,
we
in
did
Paris,
actually. Yeah, in Paris we did. It was a midnight screening, so it was the opening release, and they asked us and a couple of the other cast members to actually surprise this big auditorium, and that place went crazy when we turned up.
We were
anyway.
totally unannounced as well.
Yeah, we were unannounced. Just walked out and said enjoy the movie. And then we were able to actually hang back for 10 minutes just to, like you say, just to watch the fans' reaction to things. And it was cool to see the people who you make, like the fans who we make these movies for, reaction. Because obviously it's great us saying that thinking it's a good movie, but if the public don't like it, then that's it hasn't done its job. But luckily, everyone seems to have enjoyed it.
Let's talk about life away from the movies, because I guess the next most famous thing that you're known for in this region is your football rivalries, I guess, the Birmingham City Aston Villa thing, which come from different parts of the family, I know. So,
Yeah.
But I mean, looking at that, I guess that's something else, isn't it? Because I guess a lot of people will now want you to be down, and you're seen as these two sort of big famous supporters. It must be quite nice with that.
I've got to admit, it was nice. I was fortunate enough to go on the down to Villa Park in the close season actually, and we did an interview just before we started on the promotional tour there, and see that side of the whole club. You see what a well-run organisation the whole thing is, just not just the footballing side, but the whole events thing, what they do there, and to be shown all around that and looked after at those things is really cool. And then I think it's weird because I'm just a supporter, so I know as much as a lot of other people, the other fan bases. So when I go down with a few of my mates, we're very much in amongst it. And I think I'm part of the woodwork now, so no one really turns a bat to an eyelid anymore.
What about this season? Start with you, James, first. I mean, it's pretty turbulent for Birmingham City. I mean, what are you seeing this season?
I just want to see more than 1 or 2-0, 2-1 games every so often. Like I'll be down St Andrews this weekend for the game, but I just think that it's like I said last year. It's great that we won the cup and everything, but the league, like to go down and watch just pretty dull football, I thought all season. It just wasn't nice, and the atmosphere you kind of feel the atmosphere turning in the ground. But I think that now they're like the manager Chris Hughton I think he's got that recognition for playing attractive football and attacking football. So that's what I'm really looking forward to seeing, and hopefully gets, like, obviously the team's pretty much nothing like that finished the season. So it's going to be like a completely different squad, and I'm quite excited for that.
And Villa, obviously, with the ex-Blues manager as well, and I don't know, maybe a bit like there's some optimism at Blues, but some people are a bit downhearted. Is it the same at Villa, do you think?
I think they were originally an issue when the announcement was made that Alex McLeish was going to be manager, but I think everyone's just adapted to it now. They're like, right, okay, well, you support a team, you don't support a club for whoever's in charge or anything like that. You support the team and the colours for it. So it's the first time I've ever gone to the Villa since I've had a season ticket in about 8 years, not knowing what's going to happen. And I'd like to think with the buying of Nzogbia as well is a great thing. I mean, how we got £20 million for Stuart Downing I think is really good business, and especially to pay half that for Nzogbia is really cool. So hopefully he'll step up, and we've still got a good squad. I think people need to remember that. So I'm very optimistic. I think going into certainly the first few games, because we've got a nice fixture list, so to say. So I'll be down at Fulham this weekend to see them start off the campaign.